Hi everybody and welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at the Mag P3 kit by Smok or Smok or Smok. So let's go ahead and talk about this. Now it does come as a kit where you can get it with the TFV16 tank. It does go up to 230 watts. It does have touch screen, yes. So you can actually go ahead and change settings and everything just by a touch of your finger. It does give you a lot of different functions, such as like my mode. If you're not familiar with my mode, what you can do is actually set your mode to the type of desired tank or coil that you have on the device. And every time you select my mode in that, it's going to have the specific settings already set for you, so you don't have to adjust it or do anything else. It's also you can also do temperature control in this. And temperature control, you can change your wattage, which should be done anyways. It should be available, and it is available. It does come with two coils. Both of them are mesh. You're going to have a single mesh and you're going to have a dual mesh. The single mesh is actually a conical mesh coil, and it's actually got next mesh technology. So I think that that's great. So it's got better flavor, better longevity, and if you know anything about next mesh is really popular, and especially the coils, because the fact that the mesh coils last longer and they taste really flavorful, and this doesn't disappoint. So we're going to go down, we're going to take a closer look at this. It does come in 5 different colors. You've got black with red, green and black, gray and black, red and black, and blue and black. I do have the green and black, as you can see. So let's go ahead and go down. We're going to take a look at this. Then we're going to come back up and I'm going to vape on it and then give you my pros and cons. So let's look at the Smok Mag P3 kit with the TFV16 tank. So here we are with the Smok Mag P3 kit. I do have mine in green and black. It does come in 5 colors. It's got some information on this side as to what's included. On this side, it's going to give you some little specifications. It's got a new IQM chip. It does have a 1.9-inch screen. It does take 2 18650 batteries that are not included. So it does have battery balanced charging. You can do a password on it, and it's got 0.001 second firing, and it's also got like a keyboard when you're in the menus and stuff like that, which I'm going to show you. And then of course it's got all that other information. On the back, you've got that new security type of sticker on there to make sure that it's not counterfeit, and then you've got your scratch off authenticity. When you open up the box, the first thing you're going to get is this warning card about batteries. Battery safety is key, no matter if it's regulated or unregulated. You always want to make sure that your batteries are in good condition with no rips or tears, so they do give you that caution card. You've also got this quality control pass card, as well as how to verify the authenticity. And then you're going to have your user manual. Now the user manual is really nice and easy to read. It tells you what's included in the kit. You're going to get some specifications right here if you want some additional information regarding power ranges and things like that. And then of course warranty and all the pictures. I love pictures. I don't know about you, but I love pictures. And then you're going to get some silica gel. Do not eat. Please throw this away. Then you're going to get your mod. This is where you're actually going to get your matching tank. It does come with the TFV16 tank. So you've got the tank already included. You're going to get a spare glass. I cannot find the information as to what the capacity is for the spare glass. I'm thinking it's 4 milliliters of e-liquid, but I'm not sure. So I don't want to say what it is if I don't know for sure. It's going to come with a spare coil, which I'm going to be showing you. It's going to come with this nice bumper. I love the fact that they do include a bumper so that you can actually use the bumper on the glass to try to protect the bubble glass so that you don't lose it. You're also going to get some spare O-rings and gaskets, and then you're going to get a USB charger. Okay, so first off, I'm going to go ahead and go over the tank. Now, I've already reviewed this tank before, so I'm not going to go too far in depth about it, but I absolutely love the TFV16. It's literally my favorite TF tank from Smok. I didn't like the other ones before it. This has actually become one of my favorites that I use regularly. I love the fact that they always try to match the drip tips. Now it is a drip tip sleeve though, so that is, you know, for some people it's not going to be all that, but it is a sleeve, not just a drip tip. So I do want to warn you on that, but it does have this nice locking feature. So all you have to do is just press the button there and it swivels out like this, and then you've got a really big kidney shaped hole right there. And the best part, it locks into place, so you can't accidentally open it. That to me is definitely a huge pro. It does say Smok or smoke right there. You've got a bubble glass already pre-installed. This does hold 9 mils of e-liquid. It is a 28 millimeter in diameter tank. It does say TFV16, designed by Smok. And then you've got your 2 airflows right at the bottom. Whatever you adjust on one side will adjust on the other. And then it comes off. Like, I love the paint on this. The paint on this tank is absolutely amazing, and I love the fact that they try to match it up. So to take it apart, all you do is you go ahead and unscrew the base. This is where you can change out the straight glass. If you don't like the bubble glass, you can change it to the straight glass. I prefer the bubble glass, and I love the 9 mil capacity, so I'm going to keep that on there. Pre-installed in here is going to be the TFV16 conical mesh coil. Now their conical mesh coil is actually by Next Mesh, so it's got the Next Mesh technology. There's your mesh coil right there, nice single coil right there. It says 0.2 ohm resistance, best between 60 to 85 watts. And then right there, and of course it's got that min line. Be careful with that min line. You definitely don't want your juice, no matter what coil you're using or what tank you're using, to ever go below this, because if you're going below that, it can actually dry out your cotton because you don't have any liquid saturating it. So we have that coil. And then they come with this dual mesh coil. Now this dual mesh coil, this is the 0.12 ohm resistance coil, 80 to 160 watts, best at 120 watts. And it looks just like this, TFV16 dual mesh. And that's what that looks like. And it does not have the min line, but just please remember, if it gets to here, you definitely want to go ahead and refill your tank. I'm personally going to go ahead and use the single coil. I love the single coil. This is my favorite of all of them. If you notice at the bottom, this is actually going to be where the coil goes in. So this one is not like the previous ones. It doesn't leak like the other ones did. The threading on this is very, very good. Now, whenever you're going to insert a coil, no matter what type of sub-ohm tank, always turn it the opposite way until it clicks, and then screw it down tight. The reason for this is to make sure that it's threaded in correctly. The majority of leaking issues that people contact me about is because their coil's not threaded in correctly. So if you do that, you're going to be just fine. Call it both things. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of e-liquid on the cotton right here, and a little bit right there, just to help it start wicking up, just to give it a little bit of help. And right here, and then I'm going to put some right on the inside. I'm not filling it up. I'm just putting a little bit on the inside so that it'll get nice and saturated just a little bit quicker. And then all you have to do is just install it into the tank. Screw that together and then unlock it and fill it right there. Again, 9 mil capacity with this bubble glass, which for me is absolutely perfect. I really, really do like it. And whenever you put a new coil in, I always recommend letting it sit about 5 to 10 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and put this aside. Okay, so let's now take a look at the star of the show. This is the Mag P3 by Smok. And this has got the IP67 waterproof, dustproof, shockproof coating on it. It's like a rubber. I'm really, really liking this feeling of it. And then it's got this carbon fiber type of design here, a carbon fiber design here and here. These two are more rubberized on the side, so when you're holding it, it's not going to slip in your hand. You do have your USB port right here. It is hidden under here because of the fact that this is waterproof, shockproof, and dustproof. They do want to put it in like this because that way, if you do drop it in water or you drop it on the ground or anything like that, it's not going to mess up your USB port. So I do like that. It does have a spring-loaded 510 right on the top, so it's nice and hard. It's not too springy, but it is super flat, which I do like, and it is centered. So those two things I do want to mention because that is key, especially if you're going to be using bigger atomizers on here. You definitely want it to be more flat or more flush to the top, and you also want it to be centered so that way it doesn't look wonky like on one side or the other. You have this really fast and really clicky fire button. It does have a 0.001 second firing speed. And then on the bottom, you do have the design by Smok right here. And then you've got this little button. The button does say push. This is how you actually open up the battery compartment, and it pops open just like that. So on the door right here, you're going to have plus and minus, battery A and B. And then down in the bottom, it's going to have your minus and your plus right there. So you just go ahead and put in your batteries, and then you just close it up and it clicks. There you go. Now it's fully closed. You don't have to worry about it. Now to turn the device on, it is 5 clicks. So you're going to go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to turn your device on. It's going to say Smok right at the beginning, mag P3, and then you're going to come to this main screen. Now on the main screen, you're going to have right here your settings, your lock, your battery A and B. You're going to have your resistance, your voltage while firing, your amperage, and then your puff counter. Now, right here, you see this arrow right there? That's actually so that you can unlock it. So if you notice there, it turned to unlock. If you press the fire button, it will automatically lock it again. So you don't have to worry about that. As soon as you make any adjustments, if you hit the fire button, it automatically goes back to the screen and it is locked. To go further into it, what you're going to do is unlock it. Right here, you can actually adjust your wattage. It does go from 1 watt to 230 watts, and it scrolls super duper fast. Like super fast. Like you can't, I mean, watch. I'm already at 230. There we go. 230 watts right there. Now, the only thing is it does not round robin in wattage. So that is, you know, the only problem with the wattage, but look at that. It's trying to find your desired strength. If you press and hold it, it's going to actually zoom right through it. So to get further into the settings, what you're going to do is press your little settings button, because this is a touch screen, which let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. First thing you're going to have is mode, my mode, puff, and then settings. Into mode right here, this is where you can actually pick your modes. So you got wattage, temperature in titanium, temperature in nickel, temperature in stainless steel, wattage, and then back to temperature. Whenever you're in temperature, you're also going to have these TCR settings. You can go down or you can go up right there, and you can also set your wattage right here in the temperature setting, which to me is definitely key. Now, the wattage does go up to the full 230 watts. And again, it does scroll really, really quick. So it does go from 1 watt increments to 230. Now, once you select your temperature and you select that and you go back, or you can press your fire button, right here is where you can actually adjust your temperature setting. Because we've already done the wattage and we've already picked our material, all we need to worry about is changing our temperature control. So this is how you do it. And it does round robin from Celsius to Fahrenheit. And then to go back into your settings, so that's on mode. And I'm going to keep it on wattage. Now on wattage, you also have your preheat. I do have it in normal, but it has normal, hard, and soft. If you put it on hard, it's going to give you more of a really boost at the beginning, and it's going to give you a harder wattage. This, you can set your wattage here, or you can set it from the main screen as well. And again, it does go up to 230 watts. Your next one is going to be my mode. My mode is where you can actually adjust your settings based off of the type of tanks that you're putting on here. For instance, if I'm using this tank and I want it set up, I can actually do, like, my normal wattage on that tank is 80 watts. I do have my preferred heating at normal. And then I've got my milligrams, which you do have to select this. It's not going to select that for you. So you can go anywhere from 0 all the way up to the max milligrams is 36 milligrams nicotine. I do have mine at 3. And then you can put in your flavor. You don't necessarily have to, but you can. This is where that keyboard comes into play. You can actually go ahead and, you know, change the name of it or delete it or whatever you want to do. So it does have like that keyboard function, which I absolutely love. And then just press save. And when you do, it's going to be on my mode. So anything that was on my mode is actually going to be set right here. So say, for instance, I actually have like this one set. If I select this one and click save, it's going to select that one on the main screen as well. So you do have 4 my mode selections that you can use. The next one is going to be puff. You can actually go ahead and set your puff counter to where it could be maxed out. I always leave it at 0 because I don't like it to be maxed out. And then you also have what your puffs are, and to clear it, you just go ahead and press this, and yes, and it clears out your puff counter. The next one is going to be settings. This is for your general settings. In general settings, you're going to have amount. You're going to have about, factory setting, accessibility, and power off. So if you click on about, it's actually going to give you the name of the device. It's going to give you the capacity. It's going to give you your version, which is 1.0.6, which is what we already saw. And then it's going to tell you the manufacturer and the country. The next one is factory reset. If you want to reset it to the factory settings because you messed up on your settings, then you can go ahead and do that. I'm not going to reset it right now. Right here is your power auto lock after screen timeout. You can have yes or no. That means that when it does time out, if you wanted to just go ahead and turn off the device, you can go ahead and do it right there. The next one is power off. You can actually power it off through the settings, but there is another way to power it off, which I'll show you. So I do not want to power it off. The next one's going to be your chip. This is going to give you all the information regarding the chip that is installed in here and the firing speed and everything else to do with that chip. The next one is going to be your theme. Now, I actually have it set to white so that I can show it to you and it can look clearer, but you can change it to any different color if you want to. You can change it to green. You can change it to purple. You can change it to blue if you want, and it'll change that. Again, I do have it set at white because that way it just makes it easier for you to see while I'm doing this. Then you've got your screen timeout. Your screen timeout does go up to a total of 240 seconds. So you can have it up to this amount so that your screen's not timing out too fast. So that is something that you can do there. And then the next thing is going to be your passcode. Now, when you put in your passcode, which I have not set one because I don't use a passcode, that's just my preferred. I don't have, you know, anybody around that's going to be using my device, so I don't worry about that. But if you do put in a passcode and for some reason you do forget that password, it's going to actually give you 2 questions to answer so that you can unlock it. So that's the settings, puff, my mode. That's pretty much it. Now, if you hit the fire button 3 times, 1, 2, 3, this is actually going to lock your fire button. So you cannot fire the device when it's locked. To unlock it, 1, 2, 3 will unlock the fire button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will actually get you to that power on, power off. I absolutely love that they finally did this. When you do, just go ahead and press yes. It'll turn your device off, and then the whole device is off until you press 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will turn the device right back on. So I definitely like the menu. Very, very super responsive. As soon as you touch it, it's actually working. I have it in my mode section there. I don't want that my mode. Let's go to number 1. Save. Now it's on my mode. So everything from my mode is now programmed in here. My wattage, everything is going to be set to that my mode. Once you hit the fire button, again, it's automatically going to lock it so that you can't accidentally change your settings. So that's pretty much it for the Smok Mag P3 kit. Again, it does come with the TFV16 tank. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this on, and then we're going to go up top. We're going to talk on it, vape on it, and pros and cons. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Smok Mag P3 kit 230 watt device. Okay, so here we are back on top with
the Smok or whatever
Mag P3 kit. And before anything, I'm going to go ahead and have a vape, and then we're going to talk more about it. I currently have this set at 80 watts, and 80 watts is absolutely flavorful. Even when the original TFV16 came out, it was my favorite coil. And if you don't believe me, I still vape it till today. So, yeah, I absolutely love this tank. I'm going to go over my pros and cons real quick after another vape. First, we're going to go over the tank. The tank, absolute pro on the tank. The flavor on it, the next mesh, single mesh coil, absolutely amazing. The dual mesh coil, absolutely amazing. The flavor on them is crazy good. They have definitely stepped up their game when it comes to the coils that they have for their tanks. I know the TFV8 I didn't like, and the TFV whatever I didn't like. I didn't like them until it came out to the TFV16. Yes, it's a bigger tank. It does hold 9 mils of e-liquid, but it's a more flavorful and more... To me, it just lasts longer. I just absolutely love the TFV16 for a sub-ohm tank. It's one of my favorites. Absolutely up there, like almost number 1. It's that good. Now, it does have dual airflow, which is great because you can cut it down and things like that. But the biggest plus on this, there's 2 main pros for me. First is going to be the e-liquid capacity, 9 mils of e-liquid. Love, love, love. I hate having to fill for like 4 mil tanks or 6 mil tanks. Absolutely love the 9 mil capacity. That to me is a number 1 pro. Number 2 is going to be the locking top cap. I love the fact that it swivels, but it does lock in place. That to me is definitely key. If you do not have a lock, you shouldn't have a swivel, in my opinion. Somehow it does have to lock when you have the swivel. If not, that's where you're going to get leaking because it's not closed up tightly. And yeah, so that's my thing. 28 millimeters is also a pro. But for some, it can be a con because it is a bigger tank. But on a device like this, it's absolutely perfect. So there we go. On to the mod now. Now the mod, I do still have it in the white mode. I do like changing out the colors, but I do have it in white because it just makes it a little bit easier for you to see it. I'm going to tell you right now that the biggest pro on this mod is one of the things that I wanted in all their previous mods before. I'm not talking about just the Smok Mag series. I'm talking about their other previous tanks as well. Before, you actually had to go into the menu to turn it off. Now you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 clicks and you can turn, it'll ask you if you want to turn it off or on. So that to me is definitely a pro. So I don't have to go through the whole menu, and I absolutely love that. That to me was like the biggest downfall for any of the Smok or Smok products prior to the mags and things like that. So that is definitely a pro. Another pro is the fact that it's got a touch screen that is super responsive. You don't have to worry about it. It responds to your very touch. Very easy. You can go ahead and unlock it. Just there you go, all unlocked. I mean, very responsive. I absolutely love the menu because the menu is super easy. You don't have to be a wizard to know how to work this device. You want temperature control, it's very easy to navigate into temperature control. You want to change your settings, you can actually do that very easily as well. I love the fact that they made this user friendly. That to me is definitely a huge pro in my book. I like the fact that when you're doing the settings, if you hit the fire button, it automatically locks the device so that you can't accidentally change anything on it. That to me is also a pro. Now, menu settings, very easy. I like the My Mode. I like the passcode. If you're into, like you've got other people around you and you want to lock the device, I like to have that option. I personally do not use that option, but I like that it's there for those of you that do like that option. So to me, that is definitely going to have to be mentioned as a pro. Quick scrolling. That is a huge pro. You don't have to sit there and snail scroll anymore. You just press and hold it and it scrolls super fast. To find your desired wattage sometimes is a little bit hard because it's scrolling so fast. So it does have that very responsive, very quick scrolling. 0.001 second firing. As soon as you hit that fire button, it fires automatically. Definitely a huge pro. I love the new IQM chip. I think that it enhanced everything about this. I really like it, and I don't like gushing over certain products, but this one I absolutely like it. The feel of the mod, this IP67 rubberized thing that they have going on is just absolutely amazing. It feels so good in the hand. Holding it, it's very ergonomically friendly, of course, like a mag, but I absolutely love the feeling of this. I'm usually a thumb firer, but for this, I do not mind finger firing. A lot of us, prefer thumb over finger or finger over thumb. I personally think that this just fits perfectly well in my hand. I have no qualms about it. I think that it works great. I love the fact of the battery door. All you need to do is press that, and when you press it, the battery door opens. So I do like that, and it's fully sealed. I did test it out, and I did put it in water. I do not have that to show you because I did forget to record it because I was just like going around. I'm like, you know what, let me go ahead and test this out, and I didn't have my camera with me, so I did not record that part. But it does it is waterproof. Now it's not going to be waterproof like you're going to leave it in there for days and then all of a sudden you're going to be like, wait, it's not working. It's not like that. It does go up to a certain, and it's all in the manual, it does go up to a certain amount of meters and for a certain period of time. But who's going to just throw them out in a bucket anyway? So whatever. It is dustproof and shockproof, and I have tested it. Now, when they're talking about dustproof and shockproof, they're not talking about the tank. Waterproof, not talking about the tank. The tank would have to be apart from the device in order for you to test any of those theories. Please be careful of that, because if you do have the tank on it and you chuck this somewhere to test to see if it's shockproof, your tank is going to crash. It's going to break and you won't have it anymore. So it's not that kind, but this is great for somebody who's like in construction or who works outside in the rain and things like that. I think this is absolutely amazing for you to have because the feel, the weight, everything about it. Now it does take two 18650 batteries. They are not included, so you would have to have your own batteries. I know that some are going to want, like, say, well, I wish it was two 21700 batteries. With the dual 18650 batteries, it already has weight and it's already big enough. In order for them to do dual 21700 or dual 2700 batteries, it would actually be bigger and heavier. We don't need that. Pretty much just about everybody who's ever started with original mods has like some 18650 batteries, and they work just great. I always keep a set with me no matter where I go anyway, so it doesn't bother me in that sense. Now, there's a couple cons. The one con, and it's the only con I have for this tank, is going to be the fact that it's not a regular drip tip. It is a drip tip sleeve. Now, being that it does match, I don't need to change it, so it doesn't really bother me too much that it's a sleeve because I'm not going to change it out. But if you wanted to change it out, you would have to go hunting for it in order to get a new drip tip if you want to put it on a different device. Being that it matches with this is the only device that this is going on, so it does not bother me. On the mod itself, the only real thing that I have about this is the fact that you can lock the fire button. That to me doesn't make sense when you could just turn the device off. I know that a lot of people like that, but you really don't need to. If you turn the device off, you're actually gonna not fire the mod. And if you want to keep it on, then you wanna be able to fire the mod. So I'm not exactly sure how that works. Now, you can also put this on stealth mode. Okay, it does have a stealth mode option. So if you don't want the screen to display, say for instance, you're driving or something like that and you want a stealth mode, pressing the fire button 2 times does put it into stealth mode where the device is still on, it's still working, but you can't see the screen because it is stealthed out. And pressing it 2 times turns the screen back on. So I did fail to mention that down below, but I did want to let you know about that up here. But other than that, all the shortcut methods work. The 5 clicks to turn it off, the 3 clicks to lock the fire button if you really want to do it. The menu is really, really easy to navigate. The flavor on this tank is absolutely amazing. I've been saying it since it came out. They really changed the game with the coils that they've been using lately and the TFV16 tank, in my opinion. Again, it does come in 5 colors. I'm going to go ahead and put those colors right up here for you. Again, it comes in black and red, green and black, gray and black, red and black, and then blue and black. I absolutely love the green and black. I really like things to stand out, and this does. So I absolutely love that. Another huge pro I forgot to mention on this is the fact that you can change the screen options. So you can change the colors if you want to. I personally just, I have it on white for you guys, but this is the color that I'm usually rocking. And that's the red. I like the red with the green. That's what I'm usually rocking, but I did have it in white so that I can show you whether or not I'm showing you up here or I'm showing you down below. That way you can see it. Other than that, I can't really think of anything else to say. I think the construction work on this is absolutely amazing. I love the fact that they matched it all together.
The flavor is amazing.
I don't know what more to say that. I absolutely love the flavor. Being that it's next mesh technology, I think that that's just amazing that they went out and they're doing that now. Everything about this is really, really nice. I love the grip on it. It might be too big for some people, but I absolutely love it. Dual 18650 is where it is at for me. If it's not 21700 or 2700, I really like the dual battery mods better. That's just my opinion on the way that I vape. So yeah, so I want you to leave me in the comments down below. Let me know, first of all, if you were to choose a color, what color would you like? I absolutely love the green. I think that it stands, I just love the green. The green is just sexy to me. And also tell me, what do you think about the menu system? Is it easy for you? Is it better? Or is it worse compared to the way that they used to be? So let me know down in the comments. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you on my next one.